unajua. Mm.
Uski,
Let it
I
finish.
have good
Let it
news.
finish setting up. Uh-huh.
I am loving who I'm becoming.
Awesome.
Mm.
Okay. Na kwani nyinyi mnaona kila kitu yenye nafanya kwa screen? Am I sharing the whole screen?
Yes, you're sharing the whole screen. Hata sasa naona tu trading. That's why nilikuwa na kunini. But usidhani
Oh,
umeepuka swali yangu. You know me.
sawa. Bado you guys are seeing now what?
We are seeing
Yeah?
chapter 2.
Okay. So how we do it, Nani? Humphrey?
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute. Let me do this. I think I'm presenting the wrong way, so I'm not able to see you guys. I'm not able to. Mi naona tu kiscreen kyangu. I think I need to cut this off first, alafu open the book by itself. Okay, like that. Then I cut it off, then I share. Good. Yeah, I think this way it's best for me now. So you guys still are able to see my thing?
Yeah.
Okay, super. Mwecheche.
Hebu punguza kidogo. Isa utakuwa unasoma ukipeleka huku kichwa ukirudisha huku.
Eh?
Kama screen yangu ndio kubwa.
Okay, I think that's better. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so just technically, just to brief you on how we do it, we read it, then tunaweza ichambua kidogo, we get a good understanding of what it's saying. It's just like kama vile mlikuwa mnasomanga zile vitabu za Akoko.
Textbook.
Wewe ulisoma Akoko?
Zimi nilisoma Blossom of the Savannah, The Dolls.
What
Hmm.
is that? Yeah.
You see the people who
Unajua
are not reading in school. Hmm.
Hizo ni
Those are
set
the people
mimi
who
books.
are not reading. Eh? Those were set
unajua
books, bro.
mimi unajua sijawahi soma any set book kwa maisha yangu.
Ni sawa, hata hakuna haja tuendelee kwa hiyo story, acha tuachie tu hapo.
Sikupenda kwangu bro. Let's
Eh,
continue. I will explain later.
anyway, mimi I was not reading. Mimi I was just enjoying myself. I think the best books I ever enjoyed ni The Caucasian Chalk Cycle, The Whale Rider. I was
Caucasian.
reading it for I was reading it I was reading them for pleasure, not for exams. Exams tulikuwa tunaiba. Mm. Okay.
Mm.
So how we just read it, we read it kama kawaida. If we find a word yenye we don't know what it means, we break it down. Okay? I
Sawa
was
sawa.
addressing Humphrey.
Sawa sawa.
Okay. Yeah, so Mr. Rain, see you take us through. Tuanzishie muktasari.
Hizi ziko zaitwa bitter herbs zile kina Israelites walikuwa wanakunywa. Anyway, so this is chapter 2 of trading in the zone, okay? So now the topic is the lure and the dangers of trading. What is lure? Lure, does it mean
The lure, I think for me, lure means the lure ni kama kutega kuku nini kutupia kuku nini Mahindi, that is lure, yeah? To lure is
You
to...
mean the traps and dangers of trading.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, in January 1994, I was asked to speak at a trading conference in Chicago, sponsored by Futures Magazine, at one of the Lynchons. Yeah, at the ones of the at one of the Lynchons. I happened to be sitting next to an editor for one of the major publishers of books about trading. We were having, this thing is a little bit bigger. I'm having a problem of going like this. My screen is a little bit bigger. Let
Okay,
me
just a
reduce
minute.
this.
Kidogo tu. Yeah. Okay, let me... Done.
Lincolns. Oh.
Nasema it's a little bigger. Mimi sasa hii ndio naona ni kama ni sawa hivyo.
Hapo.
Mimi sasa naona hivi ikiwa ndogo.
Okay,
Nami
ongeza
kwangu
basi.
ndogo.
Ongeza basi. My screen is bigger. I'll reduce my screen. Okay. Ongeza tu.
Wewe ndio reduce screen yako. Hapo
Okay.
ama hapo tena nimeenda sana.
That's super. It's
Hapo.
okay.
I'm free there. It's okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, I will start. In January 1994, I was asked to speak at a trading conference in Chicago, sponsored by Futures Magazine. At one of the Lincolns, I happened to be sitting next to an editor for one of the major publishers of books about trading. We were having a lively conversation about why so few people become successful at trading. Even people who are otherwise very accomplished. At one point, the editor asked me if a possible explanation for this phenomenon might be that people were getting into trading for the wrong reasons. The attraction. I had to pause for a moment to think about this. I agreed that many of the typical reasons people are motivated to trade, the action, euphoria, desire to be a hero, the attention one can draw to himself by winning, or the self-pity that comes from losing, create problems that will ultimately detract from a trader's performance and overall success. But the true underlying attraction to trading is far more fundamental and universal. Trading is an activity that offers the individual ultimate freedom of creation, freedom of creative expression, a freedom of expression that has been denied most of us for most of our lives. Of course, the editor asked me what I meant by this. I explained that in the trading environment, we make almost all the rules. This means there are very few restrictions or boundaries on how we can choose to express ourselves. Of course, there are some formalities such as having to become a member of an exchange to be a floor trader or meeting the minimum financial requirement to open brokerage. How we done? Where we done?
Don't tell me I've gone too far.
To open brokerage, it's okay. Brokerage account if you are an off-the-floor trader. But otherwise, once you are in a position to start trading, the possibility that exists for how you go about trading, doing it are virtually limitless. I went on to give him an example from a seminar I attended several years ago. Someone had calculated that if you combine bond features, bond options, and the cash bond markets, there will be over 8 billion possible spread combinations. Now add the timing consideration based on how you read the prevailing market conditions, and the various ways to trade become virtually limitless. The editor paused for a moment and asked, but why would having access to such an unrestricted environment result in fairly consistent failure? I answered, because unlimited possibility coupled with the unlimited freedom to take advantage of those possibilities present the individual with unique and specialized psychological challenges that very few people are properly equipped to deal.
Mhm.
Mm.
You want us to break it down, or
Yeah, we can break it down a little bit. So this guy is talking about the freedom you get in trading.
yeah,
And that is now, people think that that freedom is like a getaway of life, and that ends up making other people's life miserable.
mm-hmm. I think I love
Because
this part. Hii yenye anasema this part. Trading is an activity that offers an individual unlimited freedom of creative expression, a freedom of expression that has denied most of us for most of our lives. So you see, the way we were actually brought up from our parents, we were brought up with a system of control. We were brought up being told to obey your parents, being told to go in a certain way of living, like do this, do this, do this. Like we were literally trained to be always to be not to express ourselves. Unakumbuka when you could actually when you could approach your parent with a very tactical question, or your church members or your pastors, you try to ask them like those critical questions. You know those questions that kids ask. Kids just throw away questions like with no guilt attached to it. Yeah, you can walk naked in front of a kid, and a kid will ask you, Baba, what is that? Like, it's just pointing at your penis, and you know. eh, we
I've heard of that.
So you see, without no shame. So as a parent, what you normally do, you either heckle that kid, like go, like go away, Eh? So we're meant to be that much afraid. So you find yourself in trading, you get that freedom of nobody being your boss, literally. Nobody is above you. Like, you make your own rules, you do your own thing. So you find, having been raised up in a system where where you're told what to do, what not to do, when to eat, when not to eat, when to sleep, when not to sleep. Then you come into the charts where you can earn as much money as you want. You can do whatever thing that you want. You can wake up at any time that you think you want. You can go trade anywhere in the world where you want to go. You can decide to go to an hotel. I can decide to go to Dubai. I can decide to go to whichever place without. So you find it gets a little bit difficult because we've not been programmed for that freedom. So that's why it's get a little bit difficult. I think that is just my own way I'm actually understanding this. I don't know, Humphrey.
Niko sawa.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so
So
uh-huh. So can we continue? Mm. The revealing market
yes.
condition. What? Mm.
So oh,
And tell me where you are.
yeah, equipped to deal with or have any awareness of the matter, and people can't exactly work on overcoming something if they don't even know it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So you move up, again, up.
I still go.
Yeah, there. That
Mm-hmm.
is cool.
Okay.
The freedom is great. All of us seem to naturally want it, strive for it, even crave it. But that doesn't that doesn't mean that we have the appropriate psychological resources to operate effectively in an environment that has few, if any, boundaries, and where the potential to do an enormous damage to ourselves exists. Almost everyone needs to make some mental adjustment, regardless of their educational background, intelligence, or how successful they have been in other endeavors. The kind of adjustment
Mm-hmm.
I am talking about have to do with creating an internal mental structure that provides the trader with the greatest degree of balance between the freedom to do anything and the potential that exists to experience both the financial and psychological damage that can be a direct result of that freedom. Creating a mental
Wow.
structure can be difficult enough, especially if what you
Can
want
we
to
can we
install.
break the first part?
Yes,
The kind of adjustment I'm talking about have to do with creating an internal mental structure that provides the trader with the greatest degree of balance between the freedom to do anything and the potential that exists to experience both the financial psychological damage. I'm trying to break this point down. Like, what does it mean?
I think it means it's talking about the mindset once you approach the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's talking about that. Because when he says the kind of adjustment I am talking about have to do with creating an internal mental structure. Mental meaning mindset that
Yeah.
provides a trader with great degree of balance between the freedom to do anything and the potential that exists to experience both the financial and psychological damage that can be a direct result of the freedom. Yeah, so he's talking on how you manage yourself during trading mentally, and
Mm-hmm.
how you handle that pressure from the market, and how you handle the wins and the losses. What comes with the trading? They decide what do we call them? Disappointments
The
and
disappointment.
the
Yeah.
happiness. Yeah.
For me, the psychological damage speaks a lot.
Mhm.
Most of the time, you'll find yourself secluding yourself to so many other individuals in the society. I think that's where the psychological damage part comes from, because your dopamine level is on a different level. It's not like the normal dopamine level with the rest of the society, because we experience a high level of frequency of emotional uh, up and down. That's why and that's why sometimes they say it's difficult for women to like handle the trading part, which I completely deny, because women by nature are actually emotional. And then you incorporate something that torments their psychological torture in terms of emotions, so they erupt. Inakuwa kama ni umeasha moto kwa volcano.
Asha moto kwa volcano, yeah.
So yeah, I totally understand this. The psychological damage, and that is the first part that you really need to be aware of,
Mhm.
because you're going to become delusional. And the way our communities, our society are designed, we are literally told not to be delusional. But in trading, I think for me, all traders at some point have been delusional. Delusional, especially on the learning stages, that this thing is you're going to make it. Being delusional is I don't know. I don't know what is the right way to say delusional. It's like you have a magnificent obsession.
Yeah.
It's like the Wright brothers. They were already seeing planes flying, and they couldn't tell anybody. Nobody could actually fathom that. They could not see that picture. So you seeing yourself one day being profitable, being able to, I think Nelson, I shared with you this one time. I was making money to a point like I was literally trying to save money for like 6 months. I never saved money just to go and get a passport. And it was then 8,000. And I was working. I couldn't save 8,000 shillings. Then I'm seated in a call. Mr. Donny Pip say, push buy button. I pushed buy button on NAS, and I was able to make around 75K within 30 minutes. It was even less than 30 minutes. You see that kind of torture. It is somebody will say it's torture in a positive way. Actually, that thing fucks your brain up, because especially if you're just new into trading, your mind hasn't figured that out. Your mind hasn't fathomed to that level that you can literally make such an amount of money within. Sometimes I used to feel like, oh, I was stealing, like, I don't know, like umerob something, umerob either a bank or something. Ni kama jackpot, nothing, which is not ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that was a lot, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah.
So do you want me to help you? Go ahead, Ama Humphrey, you want to read?
It's okay.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
It's okay. It's okay. You mean you'll read, or like, or let me
yeah, I'll read.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
read.
Okay.
Creating a mental structure can be difficult enough, especially if what you want to instill is in conflict with what you already believe. But for those of us who want to be traders, the difficulty of creating the appropriate structure is invariable, compounded by a backlog of mental resistance that start developing at the very earliest stage of our lives. All of us are born into some sort of social environment. A social environment, in bracket, or society, whether it's a family, city, state, or country, implies the existence of structure. Social structures consist of rules, restriction, boundaries, and a set of beliefs that become a code of behavior that limits the way in which individuals within that social structure can or cannot express themselves. Furthermore, most of the limitations of social structure were established before we were born. In other words, by the time any of us get here, most of the social structure governing our individual expression is in place and well entrenched. It's easy to see why a society's need for structure and the individual's need for self-expression can conflict. Every person who wants to master the art of trading face just such a fundamental conflict. I'd like you to ask yourself what one characteristics, in bracket, a form of personal expression, is common to every child born on this planet, regardless of the location, culture, or social situation the child is born into. The answer is curiosity. Every child is curious. Every child is eager to. Every child is eager to learn. They can be described as a learning. They can be described as
learning machines.
little learning machines.
Wow. Very true.
Can I continue?
Yeah, you can continue. I think that was self-explanatory.
Consider the nature of curiosity at its most fundamental level. It is a force More specifically, it is an inner directed force, which means there's no necessity to motivate a child to learn something. Left on their own, children will naturally explore their surroundings. What is more, this inner directed force also means to have its own agenda. In other words, even though all children are curious, not all children are naturally curious about the same thing. There's something inside each of us that directs our awareness.
Mhm.
Even infants seem to know what they want and don't want. When adults encounter this unique display of individuality expressed by an infant, they are usually surprised. They assume that infants have nothing inside of them that makes them uniquely who they are. How else would infants express their individuality than by what in their environment attracts or repels them? I call this inner directed guidance the force of natural attraction.
Wow. Wow. This is super awesome. Like I just love it. That has made me remember one thing, that Bob, if you guys follow Bob Proctor, he says Jim Rohn says that we should do what? We should live like kids. We should be curious like kids, something like that.
Mhm.
And I don't know, do something like adults, like something like that. Like, it's just so awesome. So that means the thing that we are normally told about, we are born knowing everything. It's true. We are human in becoming. Like, instead of us becoming, we are losing. We are losing our innate nature, our individuality by the social structures that have been made. But naturally, we are supposed to be curious, but we are told not to. So this is awesome.
That's why you saw me being curious to know that,
Mhm.
and you said next time, so you killed me.
Yeah, the social structure.
So that was a good example.
Uko na mambo sawa.
Ama nadanganya Humphrey?
You've gotten the right opportunity.
I hit the nail in the middle of
Yeah.
the head.
Okay, I'm free. You can finish that part, and then I can take from the dangers.
Okay. Natural attractions are simply those things about which we feel a natural or passionate interest. Ours is a big and diverse world, and it offers each of us a great deal to learn about the experience. But that doesn't mean each of us has a natural or passionate interest in learning about or experiencing all there is. There's some internal mechanism that make us natural selective. If you think about it, I'm sure you could list many things to do or be that you have absolutely no interest in. I know, I know I could. You could also make another list of things you are only marginally interested in. Finally, you could list everything you have a passionate interest in. Of course, the list gets smaller as the interest level rise. Where does passionate interest come from? My personal view is that it comes from the deepest level of our being, at the level of our true identity. It comes from the part of us that exists beyond the characteristics and personality traits we acquire as a result of our social upbringing.
Oh, our social upbringing. Wow. So, Mr. Rain, according to your social upbringing, who are you supposed to be?
Man,
Doctor.
okay. Let's say, mm,
What do you think your parents most wanted you to be?
My
Doctor.
parents wanted me to be a teacher.
Uh-huh.
I
I'm
refused, but karma is karma. Now I'm teaching.
now you're now you're a coach.
Now, oh yeah, now updated version. Now I am a coach. Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh. Mhm.
So
Humphrey?
Me, my parent wanted me to be a doctor.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Dr. Rending, you're terrible.
now
Yeah.
you're injecting ladies.
No.
Oh no, I'm joking.
Oh no. For me, for me actually, hey, I don't
Mhm.
really know because my parents never suggested anything, and unless just after I finished my high school is when they started like they most wanted me to be like somebody else's son or daughter, like anybody they figure out that was successful in life, they wanted me like, hey, si unaweza enda ufanye wiring, hey, si unaweza enda ufanye 1 2 3, si unaweza enda like they were even not sure of themselves. Mm. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. But I've never gotten like sikuwahi hivi kamba kabisa nikaambiwa do this thing like go this path. And I think that is what has made me to try a lot of things in this life. Like, I don't know ni nini sijafanya bado. Maybe kuua. Huko ndo sijafika. Kukuwa
Huwa
serial killer.
umeua. Huwa umeua.
Eh?
Huwa naye umeua sana.
Kuua mapenzi sawa.
Na kuku na wanyama huko.
Yeah. Okay,
You have
let's
killed
look at. Mhm. Go
you
ahead.
have killed a lot of mosquitoes. So
A lot of mosquitoes.
kill a
Mosquitoes.
lot of mosquitoes. So
Yeah, maybe I've killed with my mind. I've killed with my words. I've killed with my thoughts. So yeah. Mm. So let's go to the next the subtopic that is the dangers. I guess this is the dangers of indulging yourself in trading. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is at the deepest level of our being that the potential for conflict exists. The social structure that we are born into may or may not be sensitive to these inner directed needs and interest. For example, you may have been born into a family of extremely competitive athletes, but feel a passionate interest in classical music or art. You may even have natural athletic ability, but no real interest in participating in athletic events. Is there any potential for conflict here? Yes. In a typical family, most members will put a great deal of pressure on you to follow in the footsteps of your brothers, sisters, or parents. They do everything possible to teach you their ways and how to get the most out of your athletic ability. They discourage you from seriously pursuing any other interest. The most any other interest. You go along with what they want because you don't want to be, hey, that word is stoic, ostracized. What does this mean? You don't want to be ostracized. Is it to be left behind?
let's check.
Huh?
Let's search it. She was
Ostracized,
declared
excluded.
a watch.
Oh, exclude, shun, span, cold shoulder, rejected. Oh yeah, it's just like you don't want to be left behind.
Yeah.
Sasa hii imenipeleka wapi?
So these people, so writing books also required to use a lot of heavy vocabularies. Nothing is easy.
Yeah. So, so We don't want to be left behind. Let me just use that word, ostracized, But at the same time, doing what they want you to do just doesn't feel right. Although everything you've learned and been taught argues in favor of becoming an athletic. Wow. Wow. That's why I'll actually stop there. That's why we are told this is a lonely journey. Like trading itself is a lonely journey. Why? The moment you start coming into this or into personal development, really, for me, because trading has really been a personal development journey. The moment you start outgrowing your friends, you start outgrowing your community, you start outgrowing your boys in the hood, you you feel like there's a kind of a rejection coming in from them. It's because it's like you're literally making them, it's like you're looking down upon them, but you're not like doing it intentional. It's because they really want you to be somewhere. They really want you to be like them, but you are trying to choose your own way. It's just like Nelson alikuwa anaambiwa akuwe mwalimu, yeye anaanza kwenda kuandika muziki huko.
Wow.
Nimesema ukweli.
Medanganya lakini sana.
Yeye ameenda kuwa DJ Wafula.
DJ. When the first time I became a DJ, you know, sometimes literacy is very bad. I went and told these people I am a mixology. You know, mixology is the art of mixing fruits with the liquor to form something we called a cocktail. Now they thought it is being mixing songs. So they tell me, very nice. You know, we don't have a DJ, but you have come today. Now you can just start playing. And I was like, yo, since now I have no job, I just have to be one. I made myself a DJ.
Oh, hapo ndio ukakuwa DJ Wafula.
Hapo sasa ndio I became a DJ.
I just wonder, where hii DJ Wafula inatokeanga wapi? Like, I call you, Trukola na anasema DJ Wafula.
You know, I told people, I didn't even have a name. I told people, naitwa Nelson Wafula. So people started calling me Wafula. Unajua, it was in Kikuyu land. So they started calling me Wafula. You know, they don't pronounce the names properly. So they started calling me Wafula. You are good. You are good DJ Wafula. So it became the name. So there is when I got that name. And I was so proud of it.
Awesome.
I embraced what was inside me. I don't know what happened to me because I used to embrace things faster. Like, you can tell me, can you be something? Can you be a painter? But I have never painted before. Tomorrow you'll find me painting like the real painter. So nowadays, I think due to the way things are going, we are becoming lazy. Yeah, I am becoming lazy, but I'm working on it.
Actually,
but I'm working on it.
Do you know you're supposed to be lazy?
Why?
Yeah. Literally, the laziest people make things easier everywhere. They are the people who invent everything. Yeah. The best advice I ever got is work with the lazy people. Always find a way to work with the lazy people because they find a way to make that work easier. They use their mind more than they use their physical body strength.
It is called, now they painted the name of from lazy to saying working smart.
Yes. And actually, for me, the hardest work you can do, it's thinking. So we call them lazy, but they are the people doing the hardest part of the things. So they have decided to use their intellectual capabilities.
Yeah.
Mm. The faculties of the mind. The faculties of the mind inakuanga ni gani na gani? There are actually 6 or 7. Inakuanga ni thinking, thoughts, thinking. Why am I forgetting like the faculties of the mind? I'm not supposed to forget such, man. I'm gonna find it. Faculties of the mind. Reason. What else? Si mtu angekuwa amegoogle hata ChatGPT nitafutie. Nisihangaike hivi. Wafula ameenda wapi?
Wafula ameenda kumix.
Ameenda
Nimerudi.
Mr. Wafula, hebu nikumbushe
Mm.
the 6 faculties of the mind zilikwanga ni nini?
6 faculty.
Yes.
Is it the 6 faculties?
Memory.
Memory.
Imagination.
Imagination, yeah.
Reasoning.
Yeah. So there's imagination, intuition, reasoning, perception, memory, and will. There are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are actually 6. Trust me, if you fully utilize these faculties of your mind, it's a game changer. Imagination. What is imagination? Intuition. You clearly use your intuition by not sabotaging yourself. Right now, we have lost our sense of intuition because of the chaos and the many things and the foods we are eating. We have literally lost our intuitive nature. The carbonated drinks we take, the hydro, blah, blah, blah. It reduces our intuition state. So, yeah, reason. That is another thing. Literally, reason, AI and many things, imeleta reasoning yetu ikuende chini kabisa. Perception. Perception, our broadcasting media imechange our perception kabisa. The environment, actually the environment you surround yourself with is going to control your perception most of the time. Look, the kind of perception that is outside here about trading is literally pathetic. Until you get into environments with people who are really doing it is when you're getting a different perception. But mtu wako huko nje, and that's why nowadays I don't blame anybody for them thinking about trading the way they are thinking. Actually, mimi nikisikia mtu anaongea anasema nini, I just laugh and okay. Because you cannot control that. You cannot actually control the environment. You cannot control that. You have a different perception. Them, they are seeing a 6, wewe unaona a 9. They're looking at a different page of the cover. Mi naangalia the other side, hao naangalia the other side. So perception, I think that is being controlled by the media, by our social medias right now. Perception imechange kabisa. Then memory. In memory, hata mimi I'm still working on it. Right now I'm trying to do. I remember when I was huko chini nilikuwa na namba ya Nelson, namba ya girlfriend yake, namba ya Joshua, namba yangu, namba ya Fathe.
Girlfriend yangu mgani?
Unataka nimtaje hapa na anaweza kuwa anatusikia.
Haina shida.
You know who? But then nilikuwa nimeshika namba yake kwa kichwa.
Hebu nitumie namba yake kwanza.
Hai, hiyo ni mwaka gani hiyo bana? Ikiwa hii saizi hata namba yangu inabidi nikae chini nifikirie ndio nikumbuke namba zangu.
We lost the sense of thinking.
Memory. I think
Yeah,
I think that sense of memory is because we are not putting our mind into work. Like we have become too, naitwangaje, kila kitu iko tu.
And then the
Unakumbuka
other problem, the
unakumbuka
other
tukipandishwa
problem
desk tukiambiwa tuseme mathematical table na that madam alikuwa anaitwa madam nani? Ilikuwa Madam Lavender.
yeah.
And we used to do it.
I remember.
We used to say 1 times sijui ngapi mpaka ngapi, and we used to like say it.
I remember there is this, what do we call it? I think also something that is affecting most of the people is also the lack of rest.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah.
of I think lack of rest comes from it's too noisy. Like our mind is literally occupied every corner we go.
And another example is when you see there is you have a house, there is a bar, your neighbors are making noise. I
Yes,
mean,
yes. In
it's
the
very
matatu,
chaotic.
kelele, very chaotic. And
The
that's why
matatu,
actually that is the only thing that I hate about the city. Yeah, I better go live there in the desert or in the jungle, mali nasikia tu kelele ya birds and cocks. And come to the city when I want to be chaotic. Yeah, so those are the faculties, and I think and the last one, the will. What is will? What is will?
the will.
Yeah.
This is the ability of, let's say, doing something willingly without being forced automatically. Yeah.
Without being forced. Humphrey, do you have a version of yours?
Yeah, it means the power to choose and carry out a decision.
The power to choose and carry out a decision. Yeah, you're literally all right. For me, the way I was explained will is and actually I was even given the method of the method of trying to increase your will. Because the will, I think, carries the bigger part of our mind. It is right now what we now call the focus part. Right now, our attention span has gone literally to 0. We are not able to sit down on a call like this and read a book.
Yeah.
We are not able to stay into one thing and make sure it is done until to the complete level of it. Because we have those mental blocks, those mental distractions. And the only way you can achieve that will is by you practicing meditation. So ile meditation yenye vijana wanaendanga kwa uwanja hapa nje ati kufanya meditation.
Na vijana wenda kwa uwanja.
You can either do, simesikia Humphrey amecheka. Is by you practicing meditation a lot of times. That thing has really helped me to really bring back my focus level. You won't actually see it, but yeah. Because you're able to see those mental blocks, you're able to focus your mind, you're able to train your mind to focus into one thing. And it comes by you doing this thing over and over and over and over and over. If you require a drug in order for you to meditate, then you're not meditating. That is not meditation. So I know the boys kizi wanasemanga wanaenda kumedi. Anyway.
So what is that now?
Sorry?
So what do you call that now that they require a drug?
Now that I think they know, them themselves know what that drug does to them. For me, if I add that, I'll be kama hao wana meditate, mimi sasa sijui nitaenda kwa sky. Mimi sasa nitaenda physically.
You start telling people how you have helped them.
And I think I normally share this with most of my friends. Wanga naambia mimi nikienda actually and most of them can actually tell you. I can go with them to a club and I'll get out more drunk. Mi nitatoka hapo nikiwa more drunk than them. Sijui kama unanipata. Mimi sijakunywa anything. Lakini mimi ndio nimetoka hapo, mimi ni mlevi kuwashinda. It's just
So
because
basically,
them, they're depending on that, waweke kitu so that they can use that excuse to like express themselves. Me, I don't. I switch my mind, nasema ni this mode, it is that mode. It's party mode, let's party. Let's make noise. Wacha tupige nduru, wacha to dance. And I have no shame. Hawa nangoja kuweka hiyo curtain so that they can express themselves. Literally haikuangi ni haikuangi ni hiyo nini, inakonga ni mtu mwenyewe. Humphrey anaweza ni prove wrong. Kwa nini unakuanga here ukishaweka ile kitu?
Aja, mimi si mwanachama wa hiyo.
Na hiyo ni tumbler unazika.
Eh?
Hiyo ni tumbler naona unazunguka nayo hapo.
Hii ni maji. Pure water.
Sawa. It's okay. It's not bad. It's choices. Everybody kila mtu ana choice yake.
haungetumia kikombe. Swali.
Okay. Aya, so let's continue. Leo ni wacha tumalize this paragraph alafu tunaweza ifungia hapo. Naona ni saa 6:30. The problem is it doesn't feel like who you are. The conflicts that results from what we are taught about who we are supposed to be and the feeling that resonates at the deepest level of our being is not at all uncommon. I would say that many, if not most people, grow up in a family and cultural environment that gives little, if any, objective, non-judgmental support to the unique ways in which we feel compelled to express ourselves. This lack of support is not simply an absence of encouragement. It can be as deep as the outright denial of some particular way in which we want to express ourselves. For example, let's look at a common situation. A toddler who, the first time in his life, notices the thing which we call a vase on the coffee table. He is curious, which means there is an inner force that's compelling him to experience the object. In a sense, as if, let me go there. In a sense, as if this force creates a vacuum in his mind that has to be filled with the object of his interest. So he focuses on the vase, and the deliberate intent crawls across the vast expanse of the living room floor to the coffee table. When he gets there, he reaches up to the edge of the table to pull himself to his feet. With one hand firmly on the table to maintain his balance, his other hand reaches out to touch this thing he has never experienced. Just at that moment, he hears a scream from across the room. "Do not touch that!" Who says that? Mama. Acha hiyo. Startled, the child falls back on his butt and begins to cry. Obviously, this is very common occurrence and one that is completely unavoidable. Children have absolute no concept of how they can injure themselves on how valuable something like a vase can be. You've just started trading, watu wameanza kuona jamaa ukaweka post moja hapo, kesho jamaa na kutext, hata umeanza hiyo kitu. Literally, I got this from my own people. Yeah. Actually, I don't
Unacheza
know
forex.
hey, hata wewe unafunza forex. Yeah. Like they come in with wanakuambia na certain word ile yenye unajua tu they are trying to like kukukejeli, ama unaambia mtu buda, si unifunza hiyo kitu. Nacheki. Then amekutext hivyo, alafu hakuna text ingine tena. Ukimwambia si wewe nini tuongee 1 2 3, ananyamazia hapo. Ni kama kwa uliza swali kaa hiyo. So you're going to we actually going to experience this, and just to know if you're experiencing it, it's just like venye mzazi alikuwa anakuambia nini, the same part. So nimefika wapi? In fact, learning what is safe and what isn't and value of things are important lessons the child must learn. However, there are some extremely important psychological dynamics at work here, and that have direct effect on our ability to create the kind of discipline and focus necessary to trade effectively later in life. I love the way this book relates the life of a kid and the life of a new beginner in trading. What happens when we are denied the opportunity to express ourselves in the way we want to, or we are forced to express ourselves in a way that doesn't correspond with the natural selection process? The experience creates an upset. Being upset implies an imbalance. But what exactly is out of balance? For something to be out of balance, there has to be something that isn't balanced in equal proportion in the first place. That something is the relative degree of correspondence that exists between our inner mental environment and the exterior environment where we experience our lives. In other words, our needs and desires are generated in our mental environment, and they are fulfilled in the exterior environment. If these two environments are in the correspondence with one another, we are in a state of inner balance, and we feel a sense of satisfaction or happiness. Hii paragraph mko mrefu sana. Mimi nilianza ingine. So if these environments are not in correspondence, we experience dissatisfaction. Somebody help me there.
Dissatisfaction.
Dissatisfaction.
Dissatisfaction. Wow. Dissatisfaction,
Beautiful.
anger, and frustration, or what is commonly referred to as emotional pain, emotional damage.
Emotional
damage. Yeah, very true. Like this book, the moment I start reading this book, I find myself going and going and going and going and going and going. Tani highlight hapa, nitajua hapa hivi ndo nilifika. So yeah, maybe you guys have your own words, you want to say something, you can say. So I think tunafungia call hapo, so tunaweza tu piga gumzo. I'm free. What do you think?
I love the book.
Love the book already?
Yeah. I think I'll go back to the other pages and read it.
Yeah, the book is worth reading. It's very nice. It's gonna break you down. It's going to break down life and everything to you, like just in a silver platter. Inakuwekea kila kitu open hivi, inakuonesha tu like the ins and outs, the left and right.
So before you continue, we just stop your live via YouTube.
Oh yes, I've not, I've not, I've not, I've not. I'm not supposed to stop it. Okay. Yeah. So it's a very awesome book. Maybe before I end it, you guys can share your takeaways, alafu tutafanya hizo vitu zingine. Your takeaways. What are you taking home?
Wait.
Ukiona huyu msee ameanza kujikuna kwa shingo hapa hapa, anajikunanga hapa kwa nini, kwa inaitwanga G-spot hapa ndio G-spot yake iko.
Really nigga? G-spot iko kwa madem.
Amsha usingizi.
Eh,
Ona dhania nimekujua leo ukianza kujikuna hapa
eh,
alafu una shout hivyo venye umeshout. Hiyo unajiwanga huyu alienda huyu, hata huyu for the last 15 minutes amujakuwa na yeye hapa.
mambo yangu imesimama sahi.
Yeah, so I'm free. So I'm free. We share your takeaways alafu tena na huyu.
Nani? Saa 9 saa 10. Oh, ni mbaya.
I just love the book. It encourages me to be patient and to focus for my better growth. Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome. Mr. Rain,
So me I have a takeaway home.
okay.
So according to what we have read, yani inanipatia the urge to start learning about myself. Like now to accept the reality. You know, most when we are trading, most of the people, we don't accept the reality, especially when it comes to losing. Unapata msee anakuja anachungulia anasema hii strategy yako, let's say you have a strategy, win 2 trade consecutively. Aseme bas, that one is what I want to learn. Once you just lose it one day, then they run away. They don't want to accept the reality. It is not easy to accept the reality. And then hii ingine ni ngumu kuifresh, jinda ifresh aje. Hapo vile anasema kama mtoto, alafu vile let's say you are trying something new, alafu watu wanakumock. The mockery of people, then you kinda run away from it. Let's say kama mimi mara ya kwanza, let's say on my business, I started mwezi ya kwanza, I started doing hiyo video. Unajirecord alafu you post. So unapata people, yani hajaona kitu ya maana kwa hiyo video. Yeye kitu anaona tu ni makosa. They start using hizo makosa kuku mock. So I came and said, and after reading this book and the other one, I started doing it. Sasa siku hizi sijawahi ona negative comment. Wanaogopa.
Yeah, I think for me, my takeaways is just to keep doing me, keep doing me, and I think that is like what I can reflect back is what really changed my trading life after I started focusing on me without looking at these other things, how people are going to look at me, how my friends are going to say, how my family members are going to say. I was literally jobless, a guy who is just locking himself in the house, doing blah, blah, blah. I quitted my thing that I was doing. Used to get calls a lot. So, yeah, but it finally started paying off. So, like, keep on doing you, keep on working on you. So long as you're the person dreaming, you are the only individual who knows what you're seeing. even your girlfriend, even your immediate family member or friend or whoever are never going to say it until you start seeing the result. Until they start seeing the result is when you start finding now them coming to you. Is when you now see them trying to now approach you. We're like, oh, can we? Oh, I was so proud of you. I knew you could do it. I'm like, what the hell? Eh? But first, the journey is lonely. And I was caught up in that thing of trying to, pulling friends, trying to pull watu. Najaribu kuvuruta watu, but I find nikapata the journey was becoming so much strenuous because they're coming with their own perception. And with their own perception, they will try to make you see the way they're seeing it. So yeah, you gotta be delusional. You gotta be yourself. You gotta do you until to a point you're now safe to now go to the open air and now start shouting. At some point, I never knew this earlier because I joined trading through a network marketing company. So the deal was to sell the network marketing company. So we were told to be shouting that we are doing this thing on the charts. We are doing this, we are doing this, we are doing this. So I ended up being criticized so much. But literally, for me, anything I can advise any person coming into this, sometimes just do it. Don't even show it to your people. Let them discover it later. Nastukanga tu, kumbe hiki jamaa kimekuwa kikisoma hiki kitu. When you've literally gained the confidence now, you've gotten the knowledge 1, 2, 3, you're able to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 about this, is when you can now come out to the open. For me, I started doing it hata wakati sijui what is a candlestick. Because day one, tuko kwa call, I'm starting to post the call. I'm with Tony Pips. I'm with FX Rich. I'm with Walton Bugs. Because that was the idea, to sell the trading industry. Like for people to come and join the company, the network marketing company. So I was trying to give my people like, hey, I found these white guys, I found these tycoons, these billionaires, Yeah, they really had money. They were big people. But what that thing made me, because now it made my people shun away from me. But for me, it was a good thing as well, them shunning away, because I was never a people's guy. I was never a follower. So yeah, thanks to Nelson here. Thanks to Mr. Rain.
Yeah.
The only long-lasting person who was also dreaming of the same thing. So
yeah, I was okay. You had the right platform, but for me, I had the dream, the vision, but no platform.
Yeah. And actually, also another thing that like really helped me by exposing myself outside here, it's because I started shunning away the plutocrats. Let me not call them that name. I shunned away, then I opened an opening, because once they went away, they left a vacuum, and I started attracting now the right kind of crowd for me. I started attracting people like D, people like Rich, people like sasa watu wenye sasa like who are really focused in what I was doing, because I had to find another warm environment that is doing the same thing that I wanted to do. That really helped me, because them going made a gap and I had nobody to lean on. So because I had nobody to lean on, I had to go full in order for me to have people now around me. And full in is to submerge myself inside the community now. Literally, I was just, I think Nelson, you remember, I was ever having morning book club. Sijui unanipigia simu nakwambia niko kwa call, niko kwa call, niko kwa call, niko kwa call. This call I'm ever having with white people from sijui wapi, different individual in the
I
world.
remember.
Yeah. And it really helped me because I stayed closer to the fire. And by staying closer to the fire, I was able to learn more and elevate myself more without
But I think
any. Hmm?
but I think that was good because you know how God works.
Yes, yes.
He first starts by clearing your way.
Mhm.
He will make people to disappear so that you
Yeah.
become alone. He will
Mhm.
want to frustrate you as hard as he can.
Mhm.
Then if you manage to go through that stage, then he is able to bless you because he know you can handle anything.
Yes. Mhm.
But if you have just a few problems and you start crying, then the chances of you being blessed, they are minimum.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah, so
that's
that is
how.
it. I'll now stop this. I think we have ended our call for today, our session. So
Mhm.
unless mtu anataka kunipigia story ya nani, ya panyako.
Panyako ni nani? Nataka unionyeshe ile kitu kwanza ndio nikuwe satisfied.
Nini hiyo? Nini hiyo? Ndio nimesikia kulala.
Hapo penye uliniambia hapo kwa box, especially somebody is waiting for the box to break and you taking the trade. I don't know, you said iliguza wapi?
Nataka kunipeleka kwa chat tena. Unajua vile nimesumbuana. Wewe unajua tu mtu akiingia na Diana. The way inakuanga.
Eh.
Sasa unataka
Wewe
kunirudisha kwa chat.
unajua tumeishi kukuwa na session na wewe tangu sijui mwaka gani.
Na bado unaniulizanga tu the same questions.
Hakuna session tushaifanya, si wewe si unajua.
Wacha tu
Bro,
sasa.
hebu kwanza join hiyo link, tunaingia kwa kitu ingine.